The world will love you as long as you've got something to give, and they'll suck you dry. They'll take everything you've got to offer. They'll give nothing in return. They'll take of your time. They'll take of your money. They'll take of your life. They'll take of your youth. They'll take your strength. They'll take your health. And then when it's all said and done and there's nothing left, you'll be sitting there looking for some kind of help and someone to be there for you, and they're gone. That's what the world does. We look at these pictures going down the road, these billboards, and we see the guy with the Bud Light in his hand. Now, he's probably a fruitcake if you're drinking Bud Light, but we see these guys. He got a beer in one hand, a beer in the other, and a blonde on one arm and a blonde on the other, and he's living his best life. Boy, it looks great. He's partying it up, living life, having a good time. What they don't show you is the backside of that billboard's covered in bird mess and rusty nails and busted wood, and it looks beautiful on the front, but it's all tore up on the back. And that's what life is. This old world will leave you busted up on the inside. It'll leave you busted and rusty and wore out and broken up. And you'll have nothing to show for your life but a good little picture on the front. This morning, this old boy, with all his aspirations, he realized real fast, this old world doesn't love me near as much as I loved it. And he's living his life and living it up and having a good time, but then life happens and he runs out of money. When he runs out of money, he runs out of friends. When he runs out of friends, he begins to look around, and the Bible said a famine hit the land. That means it was a recession of sorts. There was no jobs. There was no more money. Nobody had money. No one had anything to show for their life. There was nobody hiring. This is a Jewish boy. They didn't mess with pork. They didn't mess with pigs. It's a sin. It's an unclean animal. And this old boy, he got so hungry. He got so lonely from sin. It left him destitute. It left him beat up. It left him broke and starving. It left him wore out and nothing but scars to show for the good times he had. And he began to look for some way to feed himself and get himself through the day. And the only thing he could find was the one thing he wasn't supposed to do. That's feed pigs. And this proud Jewish boy who knew better than to mess with swine now finds himself going to a farm and knocking on the door and says, "Sir," remember, he's got a father at home.